Welcome to Spotless Mind. If this is content you think you're going to enjoy, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the psychology surrounding faces, beauty, attractiveness, the golden ratio, and the halo effect. What is beauty? What is considered an attractive face? The concept of beauty has been a subject of much debate and discussion throughout the ages. But even in modern times today, some people still argue that beauty is objective, meaning that there are certain qualities or criteria that make someone beautiful, while others argue that it is actually subjective, meaning that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. The truth is that both arguments have merit, and the answer to whether beauty is subjective or objective ultimately really depends on how one defines what kind of appearance is actually beautiful. On the one hand, the argument for objective beauty asserts that certain things are inherently beautiful because they possess qualities that are universally desirable. For example, many cultures consider symmetrical facial features, clear skin, and healthy physique as beautiful. So it's important to remember that there are still some objective standards that people use to evaluate beauty. Now this leads me into the famous golden ratio. The golden ratio, or as some call it, PHI, is found in different parts of the human face. PHI is a mathematical ratio equal to approximately 1.618. When certain facial features adhere to this ratio, it is perceived to be more attractive. There are different ways to measure the golden ratio on a person's face, but one of the most common methods is to identify the following measurements and compare them. The distance between the forehead hairline and the eyebrow should be 1/3 of the overall face length. The length of the nose should be 1/3 of the distance between the forehead hairline and the chin. The width of the nose at its width point should be 1/3 of the overall face width. Then the distance between the eyes should be approximately 1.618 times the width of one eye. Now, while not everyone's face will adhere to this golden ratio perfectly, it is still considered a useful tool for facial analysis and aesthetics. Now, on the other side of the argument, the subjective beauty theory argues that beauty is entirely a matter of personal taste and preferences. Some people believe that beauty is not something that can be objectively determined because everyone has their own unique perspective and experiences that have led them to making the ultimate determination of what is truly beautiful to them. From a cultural perspective, cultural standards on beauty, facial perception can vary widely depending on the region and society. For example, in some cultures, full and curvy facial features are considered beautiful, while in others, slim facial features are preferred. Similarly, in some African and South Asian cultures, dark skin is preferred, while in Western cultures, lighter skin is considered desirable. Other factors that can impact perceived beauty include the shape of the face, the size and color of the eyes, the length and style of the hair, and even the presence or absence of facial hair. So it is important to note that beauty standards are not universal or fixed and can change over time. Now, personally, I remember growing up as a kid, we were always told by our parents and teachers, don't judge a book by its cover. But what's interesting is that even as we have become adults, a lot of us still go about our daily lives responding to people on the bias of their facial appearance. The impact of faces is shown in our impressions of people as well as in our behavior. So now this is going to lead me into the attractiveness halo effect. The attractiveness halo effect is a phenomena whereby we tend to attribute positive qualities to attractive people merely because of their appearance. It is a cognitive bias that affects perception of others in a profound way. This bias is prevalent and pervasive and is found in various domains of our lives. Every day we judge people based off their looks, and this has a fundamental effect on how we perceive a person's character, behavior, and abilities. But the question is, why do we all do this? The reason why we judge people by their looks can be traced back to our evolutionary history. Humans have evolved to favor attractive people as potential mates. This is because physical beauty can indicate good genes and good health. As a result, our brains have developed to recognize and respond positively to signals of physical attractiveness. However, this preference for attractiveness can lead to other biases in our perception of people beyond romantic or sexual attraction. Research has shown that people who are considered physically attractive are often perceived as having above average intelligence, confidence, competence, and trustworthiness. This is even true for traits that may not be related to their physical appearance. For example, people tend to assume that attractive people are kind, honest, and friendly, even if they've actually never met them before. This alone can lead to the perpetuation of stereotypes about attractiveness and character traits, as well as unrealistic expectations in interpersonal relationships. So, a lot of times, regardless of if the person is actually really good or bad, people with more attractive faces tend to be judged more positively in modern-day society. They are perceived as more outgoing, socially competent, powerful, and sexually responsive, as well as intelligent and healthy. On the other hand, we perceive unattractive people more negatively than attractive people because unattractive faces, to us, show more similarity to the faces of unfit or unhealthy people. Less attractive faces to humans and more unsymmetrical faces are perceived as less intelligent and healthy. Even in legal cases, attractive defendants receive more lenient sentences than less attractive defendants. This halo effect has been replicated in various studies. Although judges are instructed to make decisions based solely on the evidence presented, the attractiveness of the defendant can influence their sentencing decisions. So the argument could be made that the attractiveness halo effect is driven more by the perception that ugly is bad than by the perception that beautiful is good. So in conclusion, the attractiveness halo effect is a cognitive bias that affects our perception of others in a profound way. Our preferences for physical attractiveness can lead us to judge people based on their looks, and this can have a significant effect on their lives. The question of whether beauty is subjective or objective is complex, and the answer ultimately still depends on one's definition of beauty. While personal taste and individual experiences play a role in determining beauty, there are certain objective standards that people use when evaluating beauty. So ultimately, I think beauty is a highly individual concept that is influenced by culture, personal taste, and social norms. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, my friends.